kicking off summer with lots of new choices at the Team Automotive Group. Save on everything new during the Memorial Day sales event happening now at every location of the Team Automotive Group.
That would be concerning and maybe set a precedent moving forward.
If you have plans to be outside, you might hit a couple of these little passing showers.
A drug bust and a few arrests made. Look at what they hauled in here.
Good morning.
What's up?
We're back to a regular Tuesday.
Is it? Yeah.
Well, but you know what's not regular? This big old anvil cloud. I can't help but notice.
What the?
Look at that.
No, an anvil cloud, that's an actual thing, I think. I mean, that's like, we went to school on that the other day with Dr. Steve Caparata talking about just like crazy singular thunderstorm out there that looked like it had that anvil top.
That was just last week.
Yeah, obviously the temperature that all races up and reaches a level where it can't go anymore. You know what? I'm going to stop trying to say I know what I sound like, and we should maybe talk to Dr. Steve about the weather. Was I close at all with the anvil cloud, Steve, or help me out?
I give you A+. Sounds like you were listening pretty well when I was giving a little less. Good job.
Good student.
I liked it. It was fun.
Yeah, nice job. You want to take over? I can just take the rest of the week off, no doubt about it. So this one cloud we're seeing out there this morning, that's more what we kind of call a fair weather cumulus cloud. Nothing real bad coming out of that one. The sun kind of tucked behind it on our Sky 9 camera, brought to you by Our Lady of the Lake. Baton Rouge 71, Gonzales 72. Macomb running a little bit cooler this morning at 63 degrees. Our first alert radar network has kind of been tracking some persistent showers overnight and early this morning. Baton Rouge northward's been mainly dry, but Donaldsonville, White Castle to near Pankerville, we've had these showers just kind of drifting through the morning hours, so still a little bit of light rain ongoing there. But most of us starting out dry this morning. Temperature-wise, I've got us into the mid-80s by noon, up around 90 again for a high today, and today's rain chances running about 20%, which is fairly close to normal, maybe a little drier than we see in the latter part of May. All right, let's give you a look at Futurecast and what to expect. So through the morning, not showing much, pausing here at noon, partly to mostly cloudy skies, temperatures mid to maybe even upper 80s. Pausing again at 3 o'clock, a few spotty showers showing up. The HRRR kind of keeps most of those south of I-10 through the mid-afternoon hours, and then later today generates a few more. Here we are at 5 o'clock and on into the early evening, hangs on to a couple, but I think you get the idea. Not a whole lot of rainfall expected today. Another thing we're tracking for you, that would be an ozone action day, and we're talking specifically about ground level ozone, forecast to be code orange or unhealthy for sensitive groups. So if you do have respiratory issues, breathing problems, might want to limit your time outside. And we can all make a difference when it comes to ground level ozone. There's some things we can do to reduce those ground level ozone concentrations. Drive less if possible, carpool when you can. Fuel when it's cool, so don't put gas in the tank until late today or tonight if you can hold off. If you have enough gas to get by, try to avoid using gas-powered engines like the lawnmower at the house, and try to avoid using oil-based paints and solvents. All those things, when we do use things like that, they contribute to ground-level ozone production. All right, this morning, we have those couple of showers locally south of Baton Rouge and an upper low spinning in the Gulf of Mexico. Starting to see some storms flaring up with it, so we'll see. This is going to continue eastward. Does it try to transition into something? Probably not. We'll keep an eye on it, though, because it's late May and you never know. Another non-tropical low spinning off the coast of North Carolina this morning, but overall locally still a northerly flow in place. That's going to keep things relatively quiet, looks like, over the next several days. So pretty much a status quo kind of forecast. Morning lows kind of hovering around 70 degrees. Afternoon highs 90, 91. Rain chances 20% or less today through Saturday. Thursday, the first official day of hurricane season, June 1st. And we'll have the 5th season, our annual hurricane special, airing Thursday evening. Otherwise, I think we're okay for the LSU baseball regional for the most part. By Sunday, a little better chance of rain. We'll keep an eye on that. Say 30 to 40% on our rain chances Sunday on into early next week. 7:07. Let's get check on the roads now with Johnny H.
Thank you, Steve. Good morning, everybody. We are glancing at our interstates, and they still look pretty good this morning. Busier than yesterday. We are starting to see our first bit of slowdown coming out of Denham Springs. It's fine until you get past the Amite River and closer to O'Neill Lane, and then right past Millerville, we see a little bit of slow traffic as well, and some bumping of the brakes right there near Airline Highway. But but right at the 10-12 merge, that's kind of cleaned up a little bit. Here's your traffic right past O'Neill Lane. This is O'Neill Lane. You see the AMC IMAX movie theater on that side of the interstate. So your Millerville bound traffic is the taillights going away from the camera, and then a little bit of brake tapping right there as you make your way over the interstate on I-12 West to I-10 East, and bridge traffic is also looking pretty good. 13 minutes from Juban to the 10-12, a lot better than I thought it would be here at 7:07 in the morning. You see the breakdown right there, and then downtown to the I-10 bridge, that traffic is steady into and out of Baton Rouge here at 7:08, 8 minutes after. Every weekday morning we continue right past 7 and give you a capsule of the most important stories we're watching for the day in case you missed part of 9 News this morning. Sometimes that news is difficult to report. Here's Liz and Matt.
Johnny, thank you. And that's another morning that we're starting out in our part of the world. We're going to get to some of our local news in a minute, but all eyes still on Capitol Hill as we are closer to that debt ceiling that we keep talking about, the deadline. Well, there could be a deal on the table here that lawmakers could vote on.
There is a deal right now negotiated between, of course, those with President Joe Biden, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. You have a House Rules Committee today that's going to be looking at that deal, what's in it, and for those who are really looking into it, what's not in it. As with compromise, nobody gets everything that they want. That should be kind of how things go. But will this Rules Committee that's looking at it today vote to pass it on to the full House? You could have a full vote in the House tomorrow. But if this Rules Committee does not vote to pass it on, deal's dead in the water, doesn't go anywhere. So a lot of focus right now on that particular committee. The deal struck between the president and the Speaker of the House. June 5th is now that deadline, they say, to avoid this default. We'll see. But yeah, as you mentioned, all eyes on D.C.
And remember, these are concessions made on both sides to even reach this far. So we'll keep our eyes on it, keep you posted throughout the day. We'll let you know.
This is insanity. We have so many shootings just in our part of the world as well. And then you see this. This is Hollywood Beach, Florida.
Yeah.
9 injured?
People were at the beach, Hollywood Beach, Florida, enjoying Memorial Day weekend, the extended holiday weekend, and then overnight we were hearing about 9 people shot. The victims here all range in age from 1-year-old to 65 years old. We have not heard about any confirmed deaths at this point. We've heard a couple of people actually at last check have been in custody. They're still looking for a couple of other people here. So please keep this in mind. It's a very new, very active investigation, but police there in Hollywood, Florida, trying to round up video and photos of around the time of the shooting. But this is people enjoying time at the beach.
And you know there's going to be a lot of that photos and videos because you do have a lot of folks around that particular beach trying to enjoy themselves. We'll keep you updated. But I mean, 9 people. All right, let's get you back into our little part of the world. Speaking of, coroner call to an early morning shooting scene in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, we were just hearing this from emergency responders. Paramedics responding early morning. This happening there overnight, right around 1 o'clock on Wentling Avenue near Sherwood Forest Boulevard. So this is kind of the map here to get you a place of where this happened in our part of the world, not far from Airline. And Sherwood. So when you think about this here, paramedics responding to this overnight, this active investigation is going on. We've reached out to Baton Rouge Police to find out what they know about this incident, but it's not the only one that we've just learned about in the last 30 minutes.
We've got 2 injured in a car crash from about 2:30 this morning in Baton Rouge. We can actually show you this kind of area as well. For those who know where the old Earl K. Long Hospital used to be, or what the current facility there now, Greenwell Street and what we know as the Blues Highway, just as it curves up right there in North Baton Rouge, a crash with 2 injuries. But one of the injured folks in there, authorities are saying, had a gunshot wound?
That's what we're hearing at this
There's a lot going on here.
And paramedics also letting us know about this incident. They're getting to the scene, responding to this incident, and trying to figure out what's happening here. We've also reached out to Baton Rouge Police to find out more about this incident, but both of these overnight shootings we've learned about in the last 30-40 minutes here.
So a lot to get to. We'll make sure to keep you updated online, on air, WAFB, 9 News app, all the good stuff. This, not good stuff at all. The missing boater, West Feliciana Parish, has now been identified.
So this is the story we talked about yesterday, right? So Sunday night, a boat crash ends up happening on the Mississippi River, downriver of the St. Francisville area. And so we had heard one person was recovered, and they'd still been looking for another person. Well, that other person is 38-year-old Rachel Hahn, who's a resident of St. Francisville. All of the agencies involved at this point, Wildlife and Fisheries, the West Feliciana Parish Sheriff's Office, they're telling us that there's a pivotal shift in this investigation.
Yeah, they've gone about 20 hours of searching now, and they were trying that recovery, and now after the 20-hour, well, searching efforts or rescue efforts, now after 20 hours, they've kind of shifted to a recovery.
Yeah.
We'll keep you updated right now. The boat operator and all this was located at the very beginning. It's still in the hospital recovering, but
Yeah.
a lot of folks paying attention to this right now.
Yeah.
Need eyes on this. There's a couple missing people that we need to bring back home.
They're not related.
Correct.
We're just letting you know to show you these pictures so you can keep an eye out. The latest incident here, we're learning about 38-year-old Christian Flowers, last seen May 16th on Sherwood. And so we're told he was wearing a green shirt, black pants.
Right.
He's 5'8" roughly, maybe weighs about 215 pounds. If this picture looks familiar, I know it's kind of grainy here. Please give them a call. Crime Stoppers is the number
Right.
they're asking you to call, but he's not the only person they're looking for.
May 16th, right?
Yeah.
May 15th. That's the last time that this missing veteran from Scotlandville was seen. Giving you a good picture right there. This is a picture and a name that we've thrown out there a number of times. Ronald Christopher Bates. He's 54 years old. Last seen Avenue K, his part of the world, in Scotlandville. A prayer vigil of sorts held last night, praying for his safe return. A search party could be started in the next coming days or weeks as we kind of do this. A couple missing people that we'd very much like to find their way back home.
Please keep your eyes peeled and out for them. There's going to be a search party in the coming days that you may be able to help with as well. Think about bringing a loved one home.
I want to do this real quickly as well. As summer gets going, a lot of parents may not know where their next meal is coming for their kids.
Yeah.
Idea Public Schools offering this free of charge to anyone under the age of 18, and you don't even have to be an Idea Public School student.
No, 3 different campuses for you to get a meal today. And so this is really pivotal when you talk about relying on the schools to get breakfast and lunch.
Yeah.
You don't have to be an Idea student
No.
to get this. You do have to be there to
Right.
eat the meal
Right.
in person,
Cafeteria.
participate, but this is a way to ensure your kid gets fed during the summer months. That's incredible.
What a great opportunity, Steve. It is just, one less thing that maybe some parents have to worry about, a meal there.
Oh yeah, and one of the things that so many of us take for granted, but we know it's one of the things that happens in the summer when kids lose access to those
Yeah.
daily meals they count on at school. What a big issue that becomes. So great to see somebody taking care of that.
I heard somebody say one time that some of these kids, that's their only real solid meal they get of the day.
That's right.
So sad.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Opportunities right here on the 9 News app.
Johnny, how's the drive day after Memorial Day? We picking up?
We're getting a little busier. Not quite as busy as I thought, but it's getting busy.
Summer's here. Kids are back at home.
Yeah.
Ooh, the
Boy,
roads
are
are
they.
quieter. I like that.
See you in 10 minutes on WAFB.